Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Is It Worth the Grind? In today's episode, I was actually going to make it on Soul Guitar, which was the third video that I had planned. I would like to actually apologize for not uploading one of these in quite some time. I mainly, honestly, just completely forgot about Blox Fruits as a whole and as a game. And I also had thought that my account was hacked previously, but I forgot the password like an idiot. I completely forgot that I changed it, and that is that's on me. But yeah, no, anyways, so yeah, today's episode is already, I already said it's on the Soul Guitar. Soul Guitar, fucking cool, probably one of the more interesting weapons in the game, and not really overlooked by anybody, since guns in general are overlooked by everybody. No one ever uses them, primarily because the developers just don't give a fuck about guns. Like, they don't even try. Like, let's be real, guys. Like what the last gun they added to the game was this. I think it was the Soul Guitar. It's kind of unfortunate, since gun users, if you do like guns in games, or you think they would be kind of a cool addition to your arsenal, there's not many really good options outside of the Soul Guitar and the Obsidian Rifle, because, what else are you going to use for combos? Obviously, if you're running guns, then you're clearly going to want to go for the Soul Guitar. The Soul Guitar is the best gun in the game, apart from maybe the Obsidian Rifle, because the Obsidian Rifle, all of its moves can break Instinct, which is pretty good, all things considered. And technically speaking, the Soul Guitar's Z does not break Instinct, which a lot of people think it does. The Z move, Soul Shaker, does pretty moderate damage, decent for, PvE. Oh, and those curious, these are my stats. I'm running just like even across the board. It's just the Buddha build, and I'm running the gun. I've been using the Soul Guitar quite a bit. My friend has the Soul Guitar. He says it's very good. So the Z move is a very, very, very long range attack. Easily one of the most, I think it has the most range of any attack in the entire game. I don't think anything is actually can go further than this. It does pretty good damage for PvE. It's okay. It's fine, but as you can see, they get flung away, so it's kind of a pain in the ass to use. So, like, if you're trying to like keep them close to you, or you want to combo, you see they get flung around. It's fucking annoying, like, all things considered. But for PvP, on the other hand, this move in PvP is very good. Probably one of the best moves in the game in PvP. As you can see, it has incredibly long range. It doesn't break Instinct, but it does drain Instinct dodges, so if someone is using Instinct, like, you see how big the range is on it, like how wide it is. People will have to like really go out of their way to get away from it. You probably needing to use like Soru or something like that just to get away from it. And if they don't dodge it, they're gonna take the full brunt of the attack, and they'll be stunned, and they won't be able to do anything about it. And of course, the more famous move that this weapon has is El Diablo, which is a massive AoE stun move that does break Instinct, as you can see. This move, both of these moves do work in Buddha, so if you are running Buddha and you're thinking about using this, you can use both of the moves, and they do work. Unlike God Human, like Heaven and Earth, if you try to charge it up and use the AoE, it misses, unfortunately. But if you use this one to AoE, as you can see, it goes to the ground automatically, and it does the full brunt of the damage, and you don't have to worry about aiming it, or you don't have to drop Buddha just to use it. So it's actually quite good. Yeah, making it probably one of the best third options you could have in a set for combos if you are PvPer, or even PvE, honestly, because El Diablo does stun and get aggro of enemies. So yeah. Another big benefit from this is if you're doing raids like the Doe raid, and you need to, because Doe raid is based on how much damage the player does. This weapon is very good at getting in damage because of how big the AoE is, right? Not all fruits and not all fighting styles have really large AoEs that do consistent damage, so it's good to have this in your back pocket and put some stats in the gun if you really need to just kind of get in that little bit of extra damage for raids. It's not half bad, especially if you are a gun user. Not many people do put stats into guns, so you're not going to really actually take that much damage from this anyways. Most people use it to drain Instinct dodges or just break Instinct, which is fine, right? If you're a PvPer, I recommend you use it for that exact reason. Instinct is very hard to deal with and is very, very, very strong, so a lot of people, you're going to see them use it. So being able to break Instinct is obviously the strongest thing for any player, because then that means you'll actually be able to deal damage. So that's very important for PvP. PvE, not so much. Instinct does not matter, neither does stuns, because NPCs don't care about if you stun them or not, because they're just going to be able to get at it. So yeah, I would say that this is definitely 100% worth the grind. Yeah, I would say yes. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a shorter video. For those who are wondering how you get it, the steps are incredibly easy to follow. They're all on the wiki, and they're all, it's like a puzzle that a 4-year-old could solve. It really takes you 0 time to get this thing. You just go, you do the puzzle, you get the bones, you get the ectoplasm, and then you fucking craft it, and then boom, bah, you got the soul guitar. There's literally no reason not to go out of your way to get it. If anything, you are worse off not getting the soul guitar than you would be just getting the soul guitar. Unless you swear by the Ascidian rifle, I literally see 0 reason not to get this weapon. Not to mention though, the M1s aren't the best, but they do break instinct. They do break instinct. Yes, that's right. The M1s on this break, that's really good. Now, some people were talking about how, well, why would I say this is worth the grind and God Human isn't? Because there's other options than God Human. God Human has a lot of fucking issues. It's very hard to get. It takes people forever, and you got to do all this grinding just to get it. If you have the time, then yes, go and get it. But if you don't have the time, then don't get it. It's just not worth it. Soul guitar, you barely have to waste any time on, and you can get it really, really quickly. It is easily one of the best investments a player can make for any reason, PvP, PvE, whatever. Even if you don't put any stats in the gun for PvE, this thing is still pretty good for that. Because again, large AoE, it gets the aggro a bunch of enemies. You can, you know, it stuns them, it slows them down for just a second. If you're just trying to do some peck damage on anything. Another thing that the soul guitar has is that it's very good in sea events. Sea events, this thing's fucking incredible. If you put stats in the gun and you decide to go Levi hunting, you will do a lot of damage. You have a lot of range. You have a lot of options. You know, if you don't have a long range fruit and you don't have a permanent fruit of some kind and you're not maining it, then yeah, you could run soul guitar. You could reset your stats, put a bunch of stats into soul guitar, and you'll be fine. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It's very good, you know, thank you so much for watching. And as always, guys, if you hated this video, make sure you leave a dislike and comment down below why you like it. I appreciate all criticism. I read all my comments as well. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah.